Those recovery efforts, and Buncombe County officials say at least 30 people have died from the effects of Hurricane Helene. We'll give you a look at some of that damage in western North Carolina and how the community is coming together, helping neighbors, clearing one tree at a time. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight on 7 News. I'm Kelsey O'Donnell. We start with breaking news tonight. At least 25 people have died in South Carolina as a result of Hurricane Helene. That's all according to Governor Henry McMaster. He gave an update on recovery efforts at the Greenville downtown airport today. A Duke Energy spokesperson tells us power is expected to be restored to most customers by Friday. The governor says SCDOT crews have been clearing roads of fallen trees and debris, starting with major highways.
In this particular case, the upstate has likely not seen anything quite like this, if ever can go. But we have thousands of people that are working together to see that this is done. An army, but we're going to have patience.
The governor says along with the State Guard, the National Guard has also been called into the area to assist. In Buncombe County alone in North Carolina, at least 30 people have been confirmed dead following Helene. This here's a look at flooding in Asheville. You can see homes and businesses completely submerged by floodwaters there. At a press conference this morning, Governor Roy Cooper said nearly 30 inches of rain fell in some parts of the mountains. Buncombe County officials say more than 100 people were rescued by air. More than 600 people are still unaccounted for this afternoon.
Of mass feeding sites have been opened. Water, food, and other supplies are coming into Asheville, and they're also being airlifted from there to surrounding counties.
And many of those counties are unreachable by land. The FEMA administrator says the Army Corps of Engineers is starting assessments to see what they can do to get water systems back up and running. We'll take a look at crews cleaning up trees off of Highway 64 in Rutherford County near Lake Lure. NCDOT says all roads in western North Carolina remain closed tonight. They're urging people to stay home and only travel if it's an emergency. A look now at some of those packed gas stations as well. You can see lines here at one in Greer on Highway 101 and over in Spartanburg County in Boiling Springs. People had lined down Highway 9 to get to QT, Spinks gas stations rather, just to name a few of those there. Well, Greenville County officials held a press conference today to give an update on their recovery efforts as well. You can see downed trees still having an impact on downtown Greenville. This is a look at Washington Street near the zoo and Lawrence Road. The director of Greenville County Emergency Management says there are plenty of shelters open right now for people who need them. We have a full list of those across the upstate and western North Carolina on WSPA.com. Over in Greenville County, Sheriff Hobart Lewis also spoke, telling residents to remain calm.
There really is no need to panic in regards to fuel and food. We do not have a shortage, so people need to understand that. When you do this, you're only making it worse. It would be awful to have utility company trucks, and we have them here from all over, to be sitting on the side of the road because they can't get fuel to go fix somebody's power.
Hurricane Helene left a path of destruction as we've seen across the upstate and western North Carolina. Spartanburg County was especially hard hit. Our Scarlett Lishak spoke with residents there who tell us they were trapped in their neighborhood but are working together to get out.
Hurricane Helene has brought widespread damage across Spartanburg County. If you look behind me, you can see a tree on top of a power line. But for some people, like the residents in this community, the storm has brought them together.
All of Spartanburg is tore up. I've never seen anything like it.
Friday morning, Jane Wiley of Mill Hill Village was getting ready for work.
We got up and we had TV, we had cable, until about 7:30, and then we heard two big booms. And when you heard the transformers boom, you could hear the trees cracking. We couldn't see them at the time, but you can see them gone now.
As the sun rose, it shed light on the disaster that surrounded Wiley's home.
It was devastating. We had at least 9 trees in just this little community alone. Huge oak trees fallen. 2 entrances both had huge oak trees down. And I take care of the elderly, so I had to get to work. So my husband calls a neighbor.
Luckily, Wiley's neighbor, Stony Burnside, had just the right solution.
I got a phone call and asked me to have a chainsaw. I said yes. So we just come out here. Next thing you know, we start cutting trees up, and it's just a lot of us just pitched in.
And they start cutting, and then another person comes up, then another person comes up. And then before long, within 30 minutes, the whole neighborhood is cutting up limbs. Some people I didn't even know that live in the neighborhood were there. So it was like it really brought us together as a community.
Burnside says he's lived in this neighborhood all of his life and has never seen this kind of devastation. But he's also never been more proud of his community.
We just work together as a team, as a community. That's something we really needed. So I like that. I loved it. Wish we could do it again. So I would just like to say thank you to everyone in the community that pitched in and helped. You guys are really great, really awesome, and I'm glad you're in our community.
In Spartanburg County, Scarlett Lisjack, 7 News.
Great way to see the community coming together during this time in need. Well, residents we spoke to in Mill Hill Village tell us they are still without power tonight. Lodging has been set up for line workers in Greenville. Crews from across the country and Canada made the trek to help restore power for residents and help clean up some of that damage. Temporary lodging and resources are now set up at the Haywood Mall. We want to get a look at some current conditions outside. Hopefully some clear skies this week as crews work to restore that power. Dan?
Well, certainly some calm weather for the most part on the way. We did see a couple spotty showers earlier today. Those are gone, but some clouds will be left behind. We're also going to see the potential for a little patchy fog overnight. Temperatures right now a mix of upper 60s and lower 70s in the upstate. We've got low to mid 60s in the mountains. Clouds tonight, some fog by morning. Look for lows in the mid 60s, lower 60s in the mountains. We'll see a little bit of clearing tomorrow. Highs back to near 80 in the upstate, into the 70s in the mountains. The mountains have a little bit better chance in the upstate of seeing some showers later in the day. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything, though, that's going to make the flooding any worse. We'll take a full look at what to expect for the rest of the week coming up.
Dan, thank you. Several school districts announced closures for this week as extensive cleanup continues. All Greenville, Spartanburg, and Cherokee County schools have canceled class Monday and Tuesday. District leaders telling us there will be no e-learning either. Anderson County announced its schools will have e-learning on Monday. Several others announced their decisions as well. We have a look at all of them on this story on our homepage of our website, WSPA.com. A look now at power outages across the upstate. In Greenville County, more than 185,000 people still without power tonight. Spartanburg County, more than 151,000 customers there as well. If you're watching, you're few of the lucky that are able to. Anderson County, more than 68,000 without power. Same goes in Lawrence County. 10,000 people remain in the dark. Line workers are also working very hard to restore power in the Charlotte area. Caroline Boyer has an update from Kings Mountain.
I'm on the Sara Lee Access Road in Kings Mountain, right off of I-85, where crews are working to replace 18 power poles. You can see behind me here, they've got a new pole ready to replace this one that just snapped in half during the storm. This is one of more than a dozen. They're going to be out here for hours. This is just a small glimpse of the damage, as many people aren't able to turn their lights on yet. Duke Energy's line workers have made quick progress restoring power for some. Unfortunately for others in North Carolina, there's damage that will require more than just a quick fix. While the rain has stopped for now, crews are having a hard time replacing poles with how saturated the ground is. The damage we're seeing in and around Mecklenburg County is nothing compared to what people in the mountains are facing. Closed roads, towns completely washed away, and no cell service to contact loved ones.
This is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, storm as far as impact to the Carolinas since Hurricane Hugo. Just the path of damage is just so large.
Duke crews want you to know they hear your frustrations and they feel for you. They're working from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. to get that power back on for you as quickly as they can.
Still ahead, Vice President Kamala Harris rallies with voters in Nevada and President Trump campaigns in Pennsylvania. 7 News is your local election headquarters. Vice President Kamala Harris rallies tonight with supporters in Nevada. Meanwhile, Donald Trump was in Pennsylvania, where his rhetoric is drawing new scrutiny. CBS News' Caitlin Huey-Burns was at the rally in Erie.
But if we win in Pennsylvania, we will win the whole thing.
In battleground Pennsylvania, former President Donald Trump rallied supporters with a familiar focus: immigration.
This is an invasion, and these people are mean, tough.
It comes after Vice President Kamala Harris visited the southern border during a campaign stop Friday in Arizona, where she criticized Trump for opposing a congressional border bill earlier this year.
He prefers to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. I reject the false choice that suggests we must either choose between securing our border or creating a system of immigration that is safe, orderly, and humane.
In Pennsylvania tonight, Trump doubled down on personal attacks against Harris.
Crooked Joe Biden became mentally impaired, sad. But lying Kamala Harris, honestly, I believe she was born that way. She's a stupid person. Stupid person.
The comments echoed the harsh rhetoric he used yesterday in Wisconsin, and today some allies urged him to focus on Harris's policies.
I just think the better course to take is to prosecute the case that her policies are destroying the country. They're crazy liberal.
And this week, the spotlight will be on the running mates. J.D. Vance and Tim Walz were off the campaign trail today, prepping for the first and only vice presidential debate Tuesday, October 1st, right here on CBS. Caitlin Huey-Burns, CBS News, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Turning to weather right now, it was a changeable day. We had some clouds and then some sun, then some clouds again. And for some of you, a couple stray showers this afternoon and very early this evening. That activity has dried up. Some clouds are left behind. Do anticipate some patchy fog, not just in the mountains, but also in the upstate later tonight and into tomorrow. Still dealing with high water in many locations from all of the rain, and we do still have some flood warnings. You can see them marked in green boxes pretty much all around bodies of water, because all that water has now gone into the rivers and streams, and all those levels are running high. Although the Saluda River right along the Greenville-Pickens County border has been taken out of the flood warning. Downstream along the Anderson-Greenville County line, that's still in effect. Flood warnings in effect pretty much for the length of the French Broad River through North Carolina, and then from Lake James in McDowell County eastward down the Catawba River. Still some flood warnings in effect, and it may take days in some cases for that water to get back below flood stage. We're still dealing with the circulation that was left over from Helene. It is off to our north and our west. Not a whole lot of moisture associated with it anymore, but just enough in the atmosphere where we may see, with some daytime heating, a few showers develop again tomorrow, more so in the mountains and the upstate. We're not anticipating heavy rain. We're not anticipating that to make the flooding situation any worse. Obviously, any rain may slow the river's recession just a little bit. So, not good news. It doesn't help, but it's not going to hurt. 67 right now in Greenville. It's 70 in Greenwood, 68 in Spartanburg, 64 presently in Asheville. A few lower 60s elsewhere in the mountains. Winds are light and will stay that way over the coming days. Our hour-by-hour forecast shows clouds, a little bit of fog going into tomorrow morning. Like today, we will see some sunshine. Like today, we'll have a couple spotty showers develop in the mountains. A couple may roam through the upstate as well, so it may not be completely dry, but more folks will be dry than not. As with tonight, any shower that develops will fade pretty quickly. The remnants of Helene finally start to push to the east on Tuesday, so that's going to take what's left of that moisture farther away, which means even a lesser chance of any showers, just a small chance getting into the mountains and the foothills by afternoon. Anything else brewing in the tropics? Well, a lot of action, nothing impending, but certainly some stuff to watch. We've got Tropical Storm Isaac weakening way up in the North Atlantic. What was Tropical Storm Joyce has been downgraded to Tropical Depression. That's going to fall apart. We've got another Tropical Depression here. That's expected to become Tropical Storm and then Hurricane Kirk. It's likely not going to make it anywhere near the U.S. There are two other areas of development that we're potentially going to see in the coming days. One way in the eastern Atlantic. Lots of time to watch that. But this one may be a little bit more interesting because there's a system in the Western Caribbean that could move into the Gulf later this week and develop into a tropical system. Right now, the forecast models all over the place with trying to figure out if this actually is going to be a system and how strong or how weak it's going to be. And it looks like right now the winds over this through the Gulf of Mexico aren't going to steer it around a whole lot, which means it could kind of wander. So it's something to keep a very close eye on, but nothing impending right now. For tonight, we're looking at mid-60s for lows, lower 60s in the mountains, some clouds and some fog. Your 7-day forecast, lower 80s pretty much through the next several days. Small chance of a shower tomorrow, and then dry through the rest of the 7-day forecast. Lows will be in the 60s. And in the mountains, we're looking at mid to upper 70s for highs. Some scattered showers possible Monday, mainly in the afternoon. May get a stray shower Tuesday, but mainly dry through the remainder of the 7-day.
All right, thank you, Dan. Coming up next, Todd Summers will let us know if the Panthers are able to win back-to-back games for the first time in more than 3 years, and find out if the Braves are able to secure a spot in the playoffs with a win on Sunday. Stick with us as details are coming up next in sports. Welcome back. Some lighter news before we send you on your way. A giant baby king in Australia is breaking the internet and drawing hundreds of visitors to a popular aquarium. This here is Pesto, 9 months old, pretty fluffy there, and weighs 52 pounds, more than twice the combined weight of his parents. He's the largest chick Sea Life Melbourne has ever seen, which has made him a hit with fans around the world. Dan?
We don't want that much fur on with our weather because it's going to be warm. Not hot, though. Temperatures for tonight into tomorrow, though, are going to dip into the 60s in the morning. Watch for some fog late tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll climb through the 70s in the morning. Look for high temperatures with partly sunny skies closer to 80.
And thank you all for joining us tonight on 7 News at 11. Remember, you can get the latest news anytime on WSBA.com and by downloading our free 7 News app. We've also got food and water available, as well as shelters here in the upstate and western North Carolina, too. Have a good night, everyone.